Here we have some helicopters being deployed out there. It's exciting, isn't it? Hi, I'm Angel. I'm in part 2 of a 3-part series of reading Gene Key 2 from this book, The 64 Ways, Personal Contemplations on the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. I do recommend. I'm getting a lot of it, and I don't have his specific permission, and I'm not yet monetizing this. I suppose at some point I shall need his permission. Hopefully I will get it, or you won't be seeing this at that juncture. Richard, if you happen to be seeing this, I am reading this with the utmost respect and in my own exploration of this body of work, which I find very soothing and helpful. I have embarked in reading aloud the Gene Keys, which I've marked as especially important, although I think they are all important to all of us, or all worthy of contemplation. I find Richard's method of writing quite poetic and soothing, and also these ideas very worthy of my own contemplation. So without further ado, I'm going to jump back into part 2 of my reading of the second way. That's Gene Key 2, the way of orientation. And I'm in the second gift, orientation. In the Tao Te Ching, simple words lay out this journey of transformation through the second Gene Key. How do we find our way in life? How do we know what to do in life? How do we know it's right? The very questions are so revealing. They presuppose that we've totally lost our way. The rest of nature doesn't ask these questions. The answers are always the same, but they're always going to sound nebulous, watery. Thus we hear phrases such as be like water, follow the water, seek the low, act by not doing. The Taoists call this Wu Wei, the art of not doing, the water course way. We orientate ourselves as we become aware of the shadow frequencies. When we feel lost, we need to surrender to the feelings and allow it to soak into our bones. And when we feel sad, dislocated, angry, hopeless, afraid, excited, joyous, blissful, enthusiastic, we can allow the feeling to become utterly infused into our DNA. All we need to do is receive that which comes our way, receive and trust in everything that comes our way. We must give ourselves to it, listen to it, and let it all in. The second gift is the gift of orientation. This means we begin to open our heart up to life. We begin to allow life to resonate inside us at a higher frequency. We begin to love it. We let it crush us. We let it drown us. We let the water in. Slowly, we begin to relax. Trust is the byproduct of a host of chemicals that our DNA releases into our chemistry as we evolve. The agenda of the shadow isn't wrong. It drives us into our suffering eventually. Every human being one day reaches a stage in which they get so tired of looking outside for home, they get so disappointed by the outer world, that finally they begin to turn inward and seek the true source of their suffering. We have to follow the river back toward its source. As we do so, we go through a transformation, a healing. Nature returns our energies to us. We open to receive the currents of life and love once again. It also works the other way around. Our acceptance of the present moment, of the way we think and feel, sends a signal to our DNA, which then releases chemicals and hormones which make us feel better. The more we surrender to everything, to every moment as perfect, The more oriented we become, the more we drop our agendas, our trying, our incessant concerns about our lives and those around us, the more we radiate the presence inside us. Then the magic occurs. Our aura, our vibration animates our environment. It opens up the currents of the quantum field. It catalyzes transformation. We become a force of orientation for all life forms. Simply by doing nothing, we become a field of transformational forces. The gift of orientation is so profound that it creates a torus around us. That is what our trust does. We trust the suffering of another. We open our hearts to them without agenda, and they receive our trust at a cellular level. Energetically, we let others know that fear is safe. Fear is safe. That's the key sentence to this gift. Let it sink into us deeply. Fear is safe. This is our gift, then this is our genius, to bring others out of the shadows and begin to turn them inwards toward the source inside them, to orient another person correctly, and I mean truly correctly, is to not give them advice. Advice we can get anywhere. To orient someone is to love them. It's to be with them. It's to be ourselves with them. It's to let them see our weakness as well as our strength. It's to be empty like water, and yet to be full. It's to be intuitive, to trust, to soften, to yield, to flow. People don't need help. People need love. They need to be reminded of what it feels like to be in the presence of love. It's as simple as that. No agendas. Just love. My fellow human beings, beautiful co-creators, that wraps up part 2 of my emotional reading of Gene Key 2 by Richard Rudd. And I'm going to come back for part 3, The Second City, Unity, coming up soon.